joining us for this edition of the Dinner Table Project. Tonight I have Mary Beth Hodge, who's the assistant principal at Lakewood Elementary, and her daughter Aubrey. They will be making a taco soup. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the Dinner Table Project and remind you about the device keeper, I guess you could call it. We are encouraging all families at least one time a week to put all of their electronic devices in this box and have a family dinner, pardon me. They have conversational pieces on the back, like what makes someone a good friend, Aubrey?
Kindness.
Kindness makes a very good friend, and family member too as well, right? I also wanted to say that you can participate in the Dinner Table Project and can look up on the internet once a month the newsletter. This will go on far beyond our Dinner Table Project, which is a 6-week program. You can use the QR code and it will tap you right in to the newsletter, and as I said, it'll have an October, a November, a December, a January, and we'll have additional topics that you can discuss and some other family pointers, and also we'll have some additional recipes that you can cook as a family. Also, if you did not receive your electronic device box, we will be happy to give this and provide this for you. This box was provided by the Communicare Regional Prevention Center, and also we are utilizing the Extension Office here in Hardin County. They've been so gracious, Ms. Tony Williams and the whole crew, in allowing us to use the kitchen area. Also, by doing so, if you would like a box and you have yet to receive it, you can contact myself at Lakewood Elementary, 270-862-4516, or Ms. Donna Probst at Cecilia Valley, 270-862-3287, extension 5604. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoy.
Tonight we're going to make taco soup. This is one of my family's favorite recipes. It's also one of mine, not just because it tastes good, but also because it's one of the easiest things that I can make for dinner. And so if we have a busy night and I know I'm going to be getting in just in time for dinner, I can do a little bit of prep work the night before, throw everything in the crock pot the next morning, and then when we get home that night, dinner's ready. So you start off with a pound of ground beef, which Aubrey has browned for me. And then you add about a half a cup to a cup of chopped onions. I usually cheat and just buy them already chopped, but you can chop them yourself at home if you want. I just usually don't have much time for that. And then everything else after that is just canned and frozen items. I usually use about a cup of corn. You can either use frozen corn like this, or you can get a can of corn and drain it, but it's about a cup of corn as well. And then 2 cans of kidney beans, 1 can of pinto beans, okay, 2 cans of diced tomatoes, 1 can of the Rotel chopped green chilies, that's gonna be really full, and 1 can of diced green chilies. And I drain those as well. And the good part about all of this is you can make this as spicy or not as spicy as you'd like. Sometimes, like I use the original Rotel tonight, but you can buy it in mild if you have people that don't like spice. The same thing with the green chilies, you can get them mild or medium. And my family likes kidney beans better than pinto beans, but I think the original recipe called for 2 cans of pinto beans and 1 of kidney, so you can just make it suit your family's tastes as much as you want. And then you just give everything a stir in the crock pot. This is a little crock pot. And then you top it with a packet of taco seasoning. Go ahead and rip it the rest. It's okay. And a packet of ranch. And then you just stir all of this together. And again, I do this about 5 or 10 minutes before we walk out the door for school. Make sure everything's stirred up well. This does make a pretty thick soup, so if your family prefers thin A thinner soup, you can always add a little bit of water either before you start cooking in the morning or when you get home. If it looks a little thick, just add a little bit of water to it. But you mix everything up really well. And then you just put it in your crock pot and turn it on low for 6 to 8 hours. And then when you get home that evening, dinner is ready. And then after 6 to 8 hours, when you get home that evening, your taco soup is ready. If you happen to have a day where you're home, you can also make this on the stovetop. Just put everything in a big stock pot and cook it for a couple hours and it will have the same, it'll taste just the same. Then once you get it in your bowl, there's lots of garnishes you can put on it. In our family, we like to put a little bit of shredded cheese on ours. And a dollop of sour cream. And then sprinkle some corn chips or Fritos on it. You can also use tortilla chips. This is where you can get creative. You can use sliced jalapenos, pickled jalapenos, whatever your family likes as a topping. And then you take it and enjoy.
Well, that smells absolutely fabulous, and it appears as though it's pretty easy to do.
Yes, it's very easy to do.
As fast-paced as our lives are, crock pots are amazing, and they're a gift that we should just utilize on a day-to-day basis. As she said, she puts all of the ingredients in before they go to school. As you know, Ms. Hodge is the assistant principal, so she goes to school too. And when they get home, it's ready to eat. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you and Aubrey for coming out here and volunteering your time and making this delicious soup for us. Also, Tony Williams with the Extension Office, for doing so, has provided you with gifts.
Thank you.
In appreciation for giving us a great recipe and having a great family time.
Hello, this is Tony Williams from the Hardin County Extension Office, and I am a part of the Dinner Table Project. And today we will be making colorful quesadillas, which is just tortillas, cream cheese, shredded cheese, and a little onions and garlic powder. As we know, we're in that time, the seasons of doing things quick, something nutritional for the kids to have a snack, and this is something that they can do on their own once they get in and from school when they're waiting for dinner to be served. So here I have my flour tortilla that I'm going to add some cream cheese to it. And I'm just going to spread the cream cheese on one side. And you might think cream cheese on a tortilla, but once it all comes together, it actually turns out pretty good. So I have some bell peppers that I cut into strips, and you don't have to cut them big. You can dice them or however you like them, and you can put them on the tortilla. Alrighty, and then I have some onions. It calls for red onions, but the time-wise and frying and all that other good stuff, cutting up onions, we're just going to use some of the frozen ones that we have here. So once we have all of that, we're going to put a little garlic powder on them to give it a little flavor. And you only don't have to just limit it to being just vegetables. You can put chicken in it. You can put pork in it. You can put beef. You can put fish. Just whatever you have. It just don't have to be limited to just vegetables. All right. So I put a little of that on there. I'm gonna put a little cheese. Everybody loves cheese. So, all Alrighty. Oop. So while that is on here, I'm gonna get my spinach open and I'm gonna put some spinach on it. Just enough to give it a little taste. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna get just level a few little leaves, because once the heat, as we know, once heat hits spinach, it shrivels up and then you might have just a little, you know, a little bit. So you take it and you fold it like that and let the cheese begin to melt, and then you can let it stay on each side for maybe 2 minutes and then flip it over, because like I say, the spinach, once the heat hits it, it's going to shrivel down and you'll have a little to nothing on the quesadilla. So, and like I say, you can add any kind of meat to it that you would like. Like I say, chicken, fish, beef, pork, just to make it more than just a vegetable quesadilla. You could also serve it with salsa, or you can make your, put some sour cream on it with a little salsa and pico de gallo, you know, or you can have a side of rice on the side of it too, just make a whole complete meal. And as this quesadilla, you have all the food groups. If you would have added some meat to it, you would have met all the food groups except for fruit, which you can have that on the side as a dessert. So we're going to flip this over on the other side and let the spinach and other things melt that way, and then we're going to cut it in half and show you the end product. And like I say, it's an easy snack for the kids to do on their own. Not only with that, with tortillas, you can also use peanut butter and jelly. If you don't have bread, they can make turkey and cheese roll-ups. I mean, it's endless possibilities when it comes down to using tortillas.
So thank you very much, Tony Williams. It looks like it is indeed a colorful quesadilla. And as she said, you can add red, yellow, green peppers. You can even put you some chicken in there. You can grill it up in the skillet. It's however you want to make it. And for volunteering your time and sharing your recipe with us, we have been able to give you a cookbook. And this cookbook also has some wonderful ingredients in there, not just ingredients, but meals that you can prepare with your family. And there are some other family fun activity that you can do, and some tips and things like that to enhance your family life. Okay. Donna, did you, Ms. Probst, would you like to add anything?
Thank you for participating with us, Ms. Tony, and thank you for letting us use your beautiful kitchen here at the Hardin County Extension Office. No
problem. Glad to have y'all. And if there's anything that you need, just call the office at 270-765-4121. My extension is 118, and I will be glad to help you. And if not, I can point you in the direction that you need to go. Thank you.
We have a special guest with us tonight from Cecilia Valley Elementary School. We have Miss Catherine Ramsey and her son Samuel. They're going to be sharing one of their favorite fall recipes. Again, if you have any questions about the dinner table project, you can contact myself, Miss Donna Probst at Cecilia Valley Elementary School, or Miss Cheris at Lakewood Elementary School. Thanks so much, and enjoy this recipe brought to you by Cecilia Valley.
All right, so today we're going to make some pumpkin bars. It's kind of a take on a pumpkin roll, just a simplified version, and it's really easy for kids to help out with this one. So we're going to start out with our oil. Samuel, oops, can you measure out 1 cup of oil? Right here. Set it on the counter, sweetie. There you go. Got it? There you go, Stat. Got a little much. We're gonna pour a little back in, okay? Or I can make a mess. All right. I'm gonna crack 4 eggs. Do you think you can do this for me? No? You don't wanna crack the eggs? Okay. It's use 1 cup of oil. We're going to start out with 1 cup of oil, 4 eggs. Now for me, I find it easier to break the yolks before I stir. I'm going to break the yolks. Okay. Can you stir that for me? Gonna stir. Okay. You want me to whisk it or you got it? You got it? Good. All right. Are you ready for me? All right. So we have 4 eggs, 1 cup of oil, and we are going to add 2 cups of sugar. You want to pour? 1. You want to scoop it? Got it, or do you need a little help? Here, why don't you let me fill it and you can pour it. Okay. Now you can be precise and use a knife to level this out. I just kind of shake it. Okay, go ahead. Okay, mix it up for me. Now, like most cake batters, you're going to start with your oil, your sugar, your eggs, and then you'll go on to your seasoning, your spices, and of course, in the end, your flour. You got it? Keep stirring. I recommend that an adult open the can of pumpkin. We're going to use 1 cup of pumpkin puree. I use unseasoned or unspiced. You got it? You don't like the smell of the pumpkin? What? Oh, come on, dude. Pretty good. You want to scoop it in? All right. It may not pour. You may have to use, well, look at that. It poured for you. Okay. Got it? Okay. So after 1 cup of pumpkin, we need cinnamon, cloves, and ginger. I unscrew the lid. It's too hard for me to pour. I'm a very lazy baker. Let's try this. You need the teaspoon, not the tablespoon. That would be very spicy cake. Ready? That's that. Half a teaspoon. There we go. You want to pour this one? Okay. So it's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Oh, it smells good now? Okay.
It smells like pumpkin pie.
It does smell like pumpkin pie. It's going to taste a little bit like pumpkin pie. So you're going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. And again, you can use a knife to level this out, but I just shake it. Now it also calls for a 1/8 teaspoon of cloves. A lot of your measuring spoons don't come with an 1/8, so I just kind of measure it to where it's a little bit to the halfway point, just over what looks like the halfway point of the spoon. You got it? All right, you ready? All right, and then we need a teaspoon of baking soda. Do you remember what Mommy said activates the baking soda? What makes the baking soda work? Do you remember? Your eggs. Your eggs are what makes your baking soda work. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Almost finished. What do you think we need? Can you tell me? We've got the ginger, we've got the baking soda, the cloves, the cinnamon, our pumpkin puree. What do we need? Well, that's our frosting. We're going to get to that, but what's the last ingredient on our bars? 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Very good.
Never heard that word.
Oh,
Never mind. I love this power.
you love flour? That's your favorite part?
Just like the feel of it.
Okay.
It's like snow. Reminds me of Christmas.
All right. Do you need me to help you get it in? I'm going to scrape the sides. Good job. Okay. Why don't you let me finish it off real quick? Got it? Where are you disappearing to, dude? Hmm? Oh, okay. So when your batter's finished, it's gonna look a little bit like pumpkin pie filling. Yeah? All right. So before you begin, you should preheat your oven to 350 so that it's ready for your bars to go in. Hold on. You wanna shake? You'll want to grease your pan. You can use butter. Some people like to use butter and just smear it on. I often use just cooking spray. I like to wipe the edges of my pans, help keep them from getting black and have all that hard to scrub off parts. Let me scrape the spoon and then you can help. All right, I'm gonna scrape. Okay. Gonna scrape the bowl. Go. Good job. This is definitely something you and your child can do at home. It's very easy. Let me finish, please. Oh, okay. All right, you gotta go around like this. Good job. Now pull it out. There you go. Oh, you're gonna go around that way? All right. Got it all? Okay. Should we call it good or do you want to keep going? Okay, there you go. Oh, careful, you're splattering. There you go, good job.
That's it.
All right. And then you just want to take your spatula, since it is quite thick, and spread it out like you would a cake batter. It looks like cake batter, you think so? I guess it does a little bit. Okay. And so again, you'll put it in your oven at 350, and it's going to take, depending on your oven, 25 to 30 minutes. I would start off with 20 minutes just to be sure. What you want to do is if you have a cake tester or a toothpick, you want it to come out clean. If it starts to pull away from the pan, that's another indication that it's finished cooking. All right, Samuel, you said you're ready? We're ready. We're gonna make the frosting for the pumpkin bars. You're going to need 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese softened. You definitely want to soften that. I usually pull it out 15, 20 minutes. I pull it out first and then I gather up all my stuff for the bars, And then I mix the bars, and by then the cream cheese is usually soft enough. So you have your 8 ounces of cream cheese. Ready? Now we're going to turn this on. Turn it on low. There you go. So it's like a cream cheese frosting that you would use for inside a normal pumpkin roll. Hold on, we're going to do that next, okay? So it's 1 8-ounce of cream cheese, and then it is 2 cups of 10x sugar or powdered sugar. 1. Don't touch the cream cheese. You got this. Good job. Yeah, I'm gonna be wearing this. You wanna wear it? I'll let you scoop it out so you can wear the powdered sugar. Yeah, because it's gonna be all over my clothes. All over. Good job. All right, turn it back on low. Can you turn it on low for me? And you're gonna mix it up somewhere. Oh, careful. Good. When you're done mixing it, it'll look, actually it reminds me of butter. That's what it reminds me of. Oh yeah? You think that's funny? Okay. All right, so it's 8-ounce cream cheese, 2 cups of powdered sugar. Hold that for me. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I prefer real vanilla. It'll give it a much stronger, more savory flavor.
How do I?
Got it?
No.
Medium. You're gonna wanna put it on medium now because it's getting thick and it's gonna be harder for the blender. Now you can start off with 2 teaspoons of milk. If it's a little too thick, oh, I think I'm gonna finish. You just sneezed. I'm gonna finish. But if it's too thick and gummy, you can always add a little bit more milk at a time. I would add it by a 1/4 teaspoon. Or if it is a little runny, just take a little bit of powdered sugar and add that in. So this is not bad, but the peaks are a little long, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more milk. There we go. Nice and smooth. See that? Now if you turn it on low, put your hand over. That's how you clean it. Okay. So when you have your finished product, this is your frosting or icing, however you want to call it, you're going to let your pumpkin bars cool for, I would say approximately 15-20 minutes. If your house is a little warmer, you may want to let it cool a little bit longer than that because this will turn into a liquid and soak into the pumpkin bars. So once your pumpkin bars have cooled, you'll spread your icing evenly and you can just cut them in nice oblong shapes or squares, however you wish. All right, so again, you want to bake your bars at 350 for 20, 25, 30 minutes, depending on your oven. You want your toothpick or your cake tester to come out clean. You're gonna make your frosting, and after the cake cools for about 20 minutes, you'll go ahead and put your frosting on, and you'll wanna cut it. So we're gonna cut this. Because it is in a sheet pan, not a regular cake pan, I like to cut mine 6 by 6. There's your pumpkin bars. This is great for, I personally think it's great anyway, for like Thanksgiving dinners or just any family gathering, simply because it's very simple. Your kids can help you make it, and it tastes great. At least if you like pumpkin rolls, you should most likely, I'm pretty sure, like this.